Hey folks, what do you do when life gives you broccoli and beef? You make broccoli and beef. Stick around, we'll make it. So we've got the broccoli that we harvested from the garden the other day. Beautiful broccoli. And then we got our beef order in the other day, our half of beef. So we're going to use the skirt steak from that order because that'll be fantastic. So let's get it going. All right, Kelly's on her way home, so we're going to kick this off. We've got a tablespoon of oil in here. We're using olive oil. And we got about 6 cups of broccoli florets. And we're going to saute these up. We'll get the fire on high. We'll get them going. Okay, our broccoli is going. We leave our lid ajar a little bit because we want some of the moisture to escape while we're cooking. I like my broccoli with just a little bit of bite left to it. If you like a softer broccoli, put a couple tablespoons of water in with your oil and your broccoli will soften up quite a bit more. Now, we have a bowl here on the counter ready to accept our cooked broccoli when it's done, because right after our broccoli we're going to add our beef. So while we're waiting for the broccoli to saute, we've also put together our stir-fry sauce here. We've just thrown all the ingredients together and we'll tell you what they are. There's 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger grated in there. There's 2 teaspoons of fresh garlic. About 3 cloves once you either mash them or grate them. There's a half a cup of hot water, 6 tablespoons of soy sauce. I prefer the low sodium for this, or the Hawaiian style would be really good. And then there's 3 tablespoons of brown sugar packed in the tablespoon, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Just mix all that together and we'll just pour that all in at once when we're ready. We've got our skirt steak all trimmed up. What I did was I rolled it and then I cut it against the grain about 1 inch long, and then we strung those out and we cut those about 1 inch long as well. So cutting across the grain on the meat makes it more tender when you eat it. You don't ever want to cut it with the grain. Now, some people enjoy this dish with rice. However, we're not going to eat it with rice. We're just going to eat it as the broccoli and beef. So if you wanted the rice with it, you would pre-cook your rice. We went over cooking rice on our cabbage roll recipe. It's just 1 cup dry rice. You want to rinse that really well till the water's clear. And then you boil 2 cups of water. Dump your drained rice into that. 18 minutes covered on simmer, and you got rice. Now, broccoli is one of those vegetables that goes from crunchy like I like it to mushy very quickly, just like zucchini squash does. So you want to keep a close eye on this. You don't want to walk away from it. About every 30 to 45 seconds, get that spoon in there, stir it around, and see what the texture is like. Because it's going to cook a little bit more once we put the dish together. So you don't want to cook it all the way to your liking. Now, I can eat actually broccoli when it's in its raw state. I really enjoy broccoli. Ramona calls them baby trees. Pretty cute. I don't know if she still does, but she did when she was a toddler. She liked eating baby trees. So we're almost there with our broccoli. I would guess we're about 3 minutes into this. So we're going to go around 4 to 5 most likely. And we'll pull this off, pour it in our bowl. Our skillet's already hot. For the next step, we have some more oil on standby here that we're going to use about a tablespoon of that when we're ready. Okay, we've got about 4.5 minutes into our broccoli, and we're going to pull it. Dump it in our bowl. It's all in there. So now Another tablespoon of oil or so. I'm going to let that heat up for a second. Broccoli's perfect. So now that that's heated up, we're going to add our beef. And we're going to cook this probably about the same amount of time as the broccoli. We don't want to overcook it. We want it to stay nice and tender, but we do want to render some of those little fat pieces that are on the meat. As you're cooking the beef, spread it out to where it's in sort of one layer. You don't want to cook with the lid either because you want the moisture to evaporate out of the skillet. We're still cooking on high. The meat will brown a lot better if it's not swimming in liquid. Once you stir your meat around, have a pair of tongs handy. Any piece that doesn't kind of flip itself over, you want to come in here, flip it, get the other side going, give it a little help. Now skirt steak, just like flank steak, is a cut that you want to cook either hot and fast or you need to go low and slow. You don't want to cook this to a well done state. If you're going to do that, you need to cook it a long time and break it down to where it's a lot more tender. We're going to do it hot and fast. That way the inside of the meat is still kind of medium and it stays nice and tender. Otherwise it gets chewy on you and you won't enjoy it. But it's a fantastic cut. Now ideally I would have a skillet with a wider bottom on it because then it gives you more surface area for that heat to make that liquid go away. This is kind of more like a wok skillet. If you're going to use one of these, get it as super hot as you can get it. But we can only get so hot on this stove. But it's still going to work good. Now, skirt steak and flank steaks are cuts that make superior carne asada too. Cook it whole though. Don't cut it into strips until after it's cooked. So season it up real good with whatever seasoning you like and sear it super fast on the hottest thing you can get. Some people will even blow the ashes off of the coal in the fire and they'll lay it right on those coals, like right on top of it, to get a really hot super sear. Okay, it's been about 3.5, 4 minutes or so. Most of the moisture has been cooked out. All we have left is like the rendered fat. So now we're going to go in with our stir fry sauce. We dump the whole thing in there. And we'll scrape this out when I get 2 hands. But this will thicken fairly quickly due to that cornstarch, so you want to get it going. Okay, as your mixture comes to a boil, you want to make sure you keep it stirred. So as that sauce thickens, it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. Now if your sauce thickens and it's too thick, just dump in a tablespoon or so of warm water, just one at a time until your sauce gets the correct consistency. I think we're going to be good right here. So once the whole mixture is simmering like it is now, your sauce isn't going to get any thicker unless you can just continue to cook it and cook moisture out. So our sauce is good. So we're going to add our broccoli back to the party. The broccoli's already cooked, so we'll give this a good stir, and then we're going to kill our heat. Okay folks, our broccoli and beef is absolutely fantastic. The broccoli's still bright, got a beautiful color. It's not overcooked, still got a little bit of bite. We've got plenty of beef in the mix, which I like. Now, as you're done, get you some sesame seeds, some toasted sesame seeds, and sprinkle over the top. About like that. And serve it up. It's going to be a fantastic supper. Okay folks, I've had this before, but some of you like to see the look on my face when I dig in. Best broccoli and beef you'll ever have because it's not crazy full of MSG and all that other stuff. Really super good flavor. You're going to love making this at home. It's so easy. You just throw together in one pot. The chances are you have everything at home already to make it. So, now with this recipe, you're not confined to just broccoli or just beef. I think the sauce would work well with shrimp, chicken, whatever you wanted to use it for. You could throw in any vegetables you want, carrots, bean sprouts, water chestnuts, whatever. Go crazy with it. So Kelly's home, supper's ready, so I'm going to sit down with my beautiful wife and have a nice supper. So hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I really hope you try it. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how well it comes out and how good it tastes. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here on the farm. Glad to have you.